Hello, good morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. Bright and early morning, as usual, our early start. So this is the live Forex trading session, and as usual, it's just a session where we'll assess the markets together, look for trading opportunities, and see what the day presents for us. But also, if you're having any problems trading, any questions regarding the markets, or issues with your platform, and then this is also the opportunity to ask as many questions as you want. Like I said, I've always dedicated this Tuesday morning session one to assess the markets together, and most importantly, answer as many questions as possible. So as usual, this session could either be very short if there are no questions, or as long as we want if there are lots of questions. Also, being very early in the morning and during the week, once we've analyzed the markets and decided what to do, if you have to get on with your day in terms of you have to go to work, go to your place of business, or you have other things to do, you're welcome to log off. But we'll just stay until we've answered the last question. But if you have to go straight after we've analyzed the market, please feel free to do so. The recording for the whole session will be posted on the platform soon afterwards for everyone to see. Okay, so let's get started. So as usual, we're going to start off with the economic calendar. Let me bring that up. So as usual, we start off with the economic calendar. Today is Tuesday, the 17th of November. Again, always remember to check your own time zone. So whether you're in the UK, Nigeria, Canada, America, and I am in Rwanda. In fact, all those countries now are all in different time zones. So everyone should check and make sure you're using your own time zone. So this is GMT +2 because I'm in Rwanda. So all the times I'll be quoting will be GMT +2 times. But obviously you go with your own time zone and make sure you check and change the time zone to wherever you are in the world. Okay, so today is Tuesday, the 17th of November. The main market as usual we're looking at is the Euro US dollar. So we're looking for reports of high importance that could affect the euro or the US dollar. And we'll also note reports of medium importance. So let's see what today has in store. Obviously, you can just ignore all the reports of low importance. And of course, you can ignore countries of low importance like Italy. Okay, so we can see here at 3 o'clock, obviously this is 3 o'clock Rwandan time. The ECB Guidos is going to be making a speech. Again, usually if the ECB president, ECB is obviously the European Central Bank. So if the European Central Bank president, the Bank of England president, or the Fed chairman, the US Fed chairman, whenever they speak, it's always, either classified as of medium or high importance just because of the gravity of their post and the impact they can make on the markets. But again, because these guys who are the heads of these institutions, they realize the power of their words. So usually when they speak, they don't really say much. They're very vague. So this is just a speech. It's not an economic report or economic announcement or policy announcement. It's just a speech. But obviously because of the post of the president of the ECB, is noted there. So it's just to be mindful of that, but more or less you can ignore that. Just ignore the reports of low importance. And then here at 3:30, again, this is Rwandan time, 3:30, you have the United States retail sales, which is a report of high importance. And again, as we all know, reports of high importance due out of the United States affects all markets. all markets are affected by that report. So all currency pairs, the fixed income securities market, the stock market, the commodities market, all global stock markets, basically all financial markets, all currency pairs are affected by reports of high importance due out of the United States. So again, as we know, there's a high probability of the markets trending sideways prior to 3:30. And that's the last report for today, the last report of high importance for today. So we want to avoid trading prior to 3:30 Rwandan time. Like I said, you figure out your own time zone. So 3:30 Rwandan time, this report is coming out. So we're going to avoid trading prior to that report. We'll keep out of the market and then just reassess the market about 10 minutes before that report, reassess the market and look for trading opportunities then. But for now, we're just going to leave the markets alone and wait till then. Again, it's always good to check the rest of the week to see if there are any major reports coming out during the later on in the week. Usually, when you're trading currencies, the really main ones you're wary of or you need to be aware of are interest rates report. So if there's the Bank of England, US Fed interest rates, or the European Central Bank interest rates, those are really the main ones you're looking for. Those are the ones that could affect your trading today. So like say the interest rate report is due out on Thursday or Friday for any of these countries, the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, or the US Fed, they could potentially make the market trend sideways even today, leading up to the report on Thursday or Friday. So that's why it's always good to check the rest of the week. And when you check in the rest of the week, really, it's really those main reports you're looking out for: interest rates and the US unemployment rate. But again, the US unemployment rate, as we know, comes out on the first Friday of every month. But again, just as a matter of habit, I just check. It's just a routine for me, and that's what I actually post on the platform on Fridays, on the platform on Mondays. So if you notice, when I post on the platform on Mondays, like I said, just a routine for me. I look at the calendar for the entire week on Monday. So like you can see yesterday I posted that, looking at the economic calendar for this week, it looks like an inflation rate report week. And you have the UK inflation rate, Euro area, and Canada inflation rate all due out on Wednesday, that's tomorrow. And then the Japan inflation rate on Friday. But as you can see, there are no interest rate decisions due out or the US unemployment rate. So it's just a good habit. So I just usually go to the next 7 days and you see what's coming up over the next 7 days. Like I said, we have the UK inflation rate tomorrow, and also the Euro area inflation rate, and then the Canadian inflation rate. That really won't stop us trading today. Like I said, it's usually the interest rate decisions from the European Central Bank, Bank of England, and the US Fed that will make you very wary about trading prior to those reports, even if they're a couple of days away from when you're trading. And the US unemployment rate. And then like I said, that's the Japan interest rate, inflation rate. So, right, so there's nothing really major that would stop us trading today, coming out from the rest of the week. So we can go back to today. So for today, this is the only one we need to be worried about today. So I want to avoid trading prior to that report at 3:30 Rwandan time. And like I said, for the rest of the week, there's nothing for us to be too concerned about. So we can carry on with our trading for today. But again, we shouldn't forget that there's the US presidential elections, which is still not officially over. So there's still uncertainty regarding that. So again, in view of that, as we've been doing since the election, in view of that, I'm only going to have one attempt at the market because, like I said, there's still a likelihood due to that uncertainty that the markets will be trending sideways. And we've all noticed that, you know, the market hasn't really been profitable for the last couple of weeks, which is not surprising because, you know, we started with the uncertainty leading up to the election itself, and now that the election is over, there's still not an official result. Obviously, unofficially, we know the Democrats have won. They've got the electoral votes. They've got the popular votes, but you know, it's still being contested in the courts. It's not been official yet. So again, that you need to be wary about that. So in view of that, mainly, that's why I'll only be having one attempt at the market. So like I said, number one, I'll avoid trading prior to 3:30 Rwandan time. Then 10 minutes before that time, I'll reassess the market, look at the trend, decide where to place my trades, place my trades just before the report's announced, which I'll post on the platform. And then following that, I'll only have one live attempt at the market in view of the uncertainty as a result of the US presidential elections. Of course, we also have the news about, you know, all these pharmaceutical companies, Moderna, Pfizer, and co, claiming that, you know, they're going to have a vaccine that is 90 to 95% effective. So obviously that's a good news for everyone personally and the global markets and the economy. So again, we just watch that space. So those are, again, the two major things dominating the markets in relation to currency trading, i.e. the COVID vaccine and the US presidential elections. Now, obviously, the stock market itself, there are so many things that are affecting the stock market. But obviously, that's not what we're not discussing the stock market. We're talking about the currency market. But of course, those who are investing in the stock market are probably having a good time now with the market booming. So on that note, we now know for today, in view of all those factors we just said, we're going to leave the markets alone, wait till 3:30, assess the market then, place our pending orders, and after that, only have one live trade in view of the uncertainty with the US elections. But let's have a look at the markets. We'll start with swing trading. So we'll go to the daily time frame, D1. Again, not surprising, even the daily time frame is trending sideways, again, due to all this uncertainty with the US presidential elections. And actually, it's a good thing this has happened with all of you, because obviously the elections don't come around often. Either in the UK or in the USA, they don't come around often. Of course, the USA is every 4 years. UK, it's a bit messy. It's when they decide to declare elections. So there isn't a definite timetable with the UK, but with the USA, it's every 4 years. So it's not a scenario that you get often, but I'm glad you've all got to at least experience how the major elections in the UK and USA, especially this one in the USA, can affect the markets and cause the market to trend sideways in view of the uncertainty that it causes. Of course, once this Joe Biden, Donald Trump issue is resolved and everything calms down, then hopefully the market will start going back to some sort of normality. Ouch. Okay, just muted that person. Okay, so from a swing trading point of view, we can see the market is still trending sideways. Of course, you can see the moving average has flattened out, and I still have my two white lines there marking out the sideways trend. So again, nothing to do from a swing trading point of view. Currently, no opportunities because the market is trending sideways. So we're just going to leave that alone. So no swing trade opportunities. So we'll go now to the 5-minute time frame for the day trading. So again, start with the trend. So we can see initially the market was trending up. And then, of course, you can see where it broke the moving average. And you can see it now creeping down. It's now trending down. You can see it's still forming lower lows. But again, like I said, we're not going to do anything at the moment. We're not going to place any trades. If there was no report coming out, yeah, we could have potentially sold below the pivot point, which is below the moving average. You can see the pivot point is below the moving average. First resistance is above the moving average. So potentially, if there were no reports due out, we could have placed a pending sell order just below the pivot point and a pending buy order just above the first resistance. But because of the report coming out, we're just going to leave it alone. We're not going to do anything. And then we'll reassess just before the report that is due out, and then decide then, depending on how the market looks at that time, what to do. So for now, it's just a question of switch off my MT4 platform and go and do something else and occupy myself with something else till 10 minutes before the report at 3:30 Rwandan time. Okay, that's the plan for today. Like I said, the recording of this session will be posted on the platform, and also just before the report, I'll post on the platform what I plan to do in regard to the report coming out. Right, any questions? If you have any questions, you can either raise your hands or send your question through the chat box. If you have any questions regarding trading in the markets, speak now or forever hold your peace, as they say. Going. Hello, Ozzy.
Yeah, hi, morning, Remy. The only question I had to ask, when you were going through the reports, I saw something about, I can't remember which day it was, about car registrations.
Car? Okay.
Yeah. How does that affect the markets?
It doesn't.
I do think it was one of the low ones, but I was wondering why is it in the report? What's the effect on the markets, if at all? Why is it of any concern?
No concern.
Okay.
Of course, they put. Oh, that's it there.
European. I saw it. There was a European. Yeah, new cars. Was it new car sales or I saw registration.
Yeah,
it was a European one.
That's Thailand. Okay, actually, let me put it this way. Don't forget that it's not only currency traders that use this economic calendar.
Okay, sure. True.
So it's anyone who is trading, and of course, they could be trading the stock market, they should be trading the commodities market, they could be trading all sorts of markets. Okay. So yes, it's not relevant in relation to the currency market. But obviously, if you're trading something to do with that automobile market or the automobile sector, then maybe, yeah. Again, I'm actually happy you asked that question, because that's why I always kept telling people why it's so easy to trade currencies compared with the other markets, because there's so many reports that come out and so many things you see in the news, but the vast majority of them don't affect currencies. So if you were trading the stock market on a daily basis, then yes, that's where you get people glued to the screen all the time, because the stock market on a daily basis is very sensitive to so many things.
Different. Okay. Yeah, that one was on the 18th of November, and it's the European Union medium. It's a medium report, new car registrations, YOY.
Yeah. Oh, actually, going back to what you were saying, the one that will be, so that's new, so that you can ignore car registrations, but the one to note would be house, anything to do with the property market that can sometimes affect even the currency market, as we all saw with the subprime mortgages in 2008. So that's the one that you can note. I mean, and again, those ones too are not of high importance. So you sometimes see reports to do with mortgage applications, new home sales, and all that. So they're not usually of high importance, but it's okay, here it's a good one. So you can see here you have US building permits, housing starts. So when you see that, it won't stop you trading, but it's a good idea to check your trades around that time. So any report to do with the housing market is a good time to check your trades. But they won't stop you trading. They're usually not of high importance, but yes. So cars, ignore cars. But the housing market, when you say anything to do with mortgage applications, housing, anything to do with it, do note it and check. Oh, while you're on the Aussie, because I saw what you posted on the platform regarding those two companies.
Oh, yes, okay.
Pfizer split. I don't know if you saw my reply.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it actually. I haven't looked at this morning. No.
Yeah, but I'm just glad you're here so I can clarify what I was saying. I mean, you can check my comments, but it's sometimes difficult to really write what you're thinking.
Okay.
But yes, usually when companies split, and like you rightly said, you have to do some research because they could be splitting the companies up for a good reason or bad reason. So sometimes companies might, when obviously, during the boom time, very rich companies will just be acquiring other smaller companies. Okay. But when you're going through a rough patch, some might be doing well, some might be doing badly, and to get some of your books and to streamline your operations, you might want to get rid of some of these companies. So you then divest it and get rid of one, or maybe you get rid of one with the potential that someone will come and buy it. And of course, that's not a good reason. Or you might do it if, yes, you might also split because now when you bought it, you've made a lot of money, it's doing very well. This is the time to cash in because it's booming. So yes, it all depends on the reason why.
Okay, yeah.
So so I'm glad you're here because you might not get what I'm saying now from the reply to your comment on the platform.
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you so
Pleasure. Much. Shegun, you only have one trade until the elections are done. Yes, Shegun. Yes. In fact, it's interesting. We're currently doing the online course. The online trading course is currently going on. So interesting. Somebody brought that up yesterday during the course about why not just avoid trading till the US elections is finally known. And yes, it's interesting. So I told her during the course yesterday that that's another option. So yes, some people, if you're extremely conservative, which you should be as a trader, obviously I'm a risk taker. So that's just me. I like to take risk. But even me taking risk, I'm only having one attempt. But yes, if you're ultra conservative as a trader, which you should really be, there's nothing. Yes, you have the option to just sit out, just completely avoid trading completely till we're 100% sure who the United States president is. So that's an option you can take. Yes, Shegun. So even me, that I have a very high risk appetite. Even then, I will still only have one attempt every day till we know. But yes, you're fine to decide just to keep out completely if you want. But yes, there's certainly no sense in making 2 attempts or 3 attempts during this uncertain period. So that's the one that is out of the question, having 2 or 3 attempts. So the options now that you have till we are 100% sure who the United States president is to either keep out completely, but if you don't want to keep out completely like me, then you should just have maximum of just 1 live attempt till we're 100% sure. But I think again, let me answer that question on the flip side. If you're not trading, you should not be trading. You should not be avoiding the markets out of fear of losing money. That should not be that one should not be the case. So if you're avoiding the market and not trading for a valid reason, like this period of uncertainty till we know who the United States president is, that's fine. But don't just avoid trading. So, but make sure that you are avoiding trading is not because of fear. Because again, that's where trading psychology comes in, because you're still going to have your losses regardless. So, but yes, you can avoid trading because of the uncertainty of the US elections. That's valid. But make sure your reason is not just because you are scared of losing money, period. Okay. Bola, good morning. I'm a newbie to this and went onto the economic calendar and listed that there are various platforms with economic calendar. I went with DailyFX like you. Doesn't matter which calendar you go with. No, it really doesn't matter which calendar you go with. But I just like, and you're right, actually, that's a very good point you've made, Bola, because there are so many different economic calendars. So yes, why I prefer this DailyFX because it's number one, it's widely used. Number two, I found it's very reliable. Yes, I personally too have seen various economic calendars, but I settled with this one because it's more reliable and obviously it's much more easier to follow than the other ones. But the good thing about, even if you use different economic calendars, I think where they tend to differ sometimes are the medium reports. So sometimes you might find they might have more or less medium reports and all sorts, but where they're all the same, it's the higher. So for example, regardless of whichever economic calendar you look at, all of them will have the Euro area inflation rate report due out tomorrow. All of them will have today the US retail sales due out at 3:30 Rwandan time today. So all of the economic calendars, the reports of high importance tend to be the same. Because, you know, this is, because don't forget, all these reports are announced by the individual country. So it's not the platform setting these times for the report. It is the United States government and the United States Bureau of Statistics and all that. They are the ones setting the time they are going to release this report, not the platform. So I think that's another important thing to say. So it's not them who are saying that is United States should say the report at 3:30 Rwandan time. This is the United States government and Bureau of Statistics that will determine the time they are going to announce this report. So I think if you also think about it that way, you will find out that it really doesn't matter which economic calendar you're using. So in fact, it should be the other way around. If the United States government say they are releasing the report at 3:30 today Rwandan time, and then another economic calendar puts a wrong time there, then that calendar is wrong. So like I said, this is what I've been using for 20 years, and I've been found them to be very, very reliable. I hope that sort of answers your question, Bola. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh,
yes.
good.
Yeah.
Go
yes,
ahead.
it did.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. What do the months, this from Ozzy, what do the months at the end of each of the reports refer to? Just notice them. The months. Which months, Ozzy? I don't see months there.
Oh, can you see where it says SEP, October, the abbreviations behind each of the reports?
Okay. I was looking here. Okay. Yes. What this means is that this is where, this is the month. Okay. How would I, let me use inflation rate. That's better. But it's the same for all of them. Okay. Basically what they're saying is that this report year on year, for example, this export price year on year, it means from October last year to October this year. So although it's coming out in November, that's what they're stating here. This October means is year on year from October last year till October this year. So this one to month on month, they're talking about the month of October.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So if we go to tomorrow when we have the inflation, because you know inflation too is always calculated over a year period. But again, the same thing too, when this inflation rate is being announced tomorrow, which tomorrow is obviously the 18th of November, but it's telling you this is inflation report from October last year till October this year.
Okay, and so how could, yeah, why wasn't that one saying November though? Because
which one?
That one that you're on, would it not be for November of November?
No, but that's why I'm explaining to you that's why they've put October there. So although the report is being announced in November tomorrow, the actual report itself they're announcing tomorrow, 18th of November, is the inflation rate from October last year till October this year. That's what's being announced tomorrow, 18th of November.
Okay, so that's what's analyzed. Okay, perfect. YOY and MOM. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking somewhere else when you said month. Any other questions? I'm going to do it like the auction, as in going, and gone. So once I say gone and there are no questions, we'll all go for a breakfast and enjoy a day. So any questions? Going, gone. Brilliant. So wish you all a wonderful day. Have a good day. Enjoy the market. Well, you shouldn't be trading anyway. I was going to say enjoy the market. Leave the markets alone till at least 3:30 Rwandan time. And like Shegutu said, it's up to you if you decide you want to just keep away from the markets till you know whether it's Joe Biden or Donald Trump ruling, or whether there's a military coup in USA or something.
Wow, that was something.
Exactly. All right then.